Joining us now is one of the many Democrats calling for Governor Cuomo's resignation, New York State Senator James Skoufis. Thank you so much for being here. What is the next step for you?
So look, the next step is waiting to see in the very near term whether the governor does the right thing here. Everyone up to the president of the United States of his own party has called on him to step down. And short of that, if he doesn't do that immediately, and by immediately I don't mean months or even weeks, I mean today, tomorrow, then the legislature ought to take the necessary step to remove him from the governor's mansion. Look, there are two things that I'm going to say here. Number one, it's over. You know, there's no gray area. There's no maybe. There's no scenario in which the governor survives this. It is over. The writing is on the wall, and it would be best for this state if the governor did this willingly. The second thing I'll say is that I don't believe it's going to come down to an impeachment vote. I don't think we're going to get that far. Once the governor sees that impeachment is going to happen, it is set to happen, the votes are there, he will step down. I don't think there's going to be an impeachment vote. I don't think we'll get to that point. But make no mistake, there's no scenario in which the governor survives this.
So you're suggesting that he takes it right up to the edge of that impeachment proceeding and then steps down? You think that's the play here?
I hope it doesn't come to him taking it right to the edge. Look, I think it's going to take a number of weeks for the Assembly, from what I can tell, to put together articles of impeachment and to move forward. Look, this has happened once in the entire history of New York State. It hasn't happened in over 100 years, so there's not really a playbook. So it's going to take a little bit of time. But again, the writing is explicitly on the wall here, and it's just stunning to me, and I think most people in the legislature. The governor for the past 11 years or so has been the most enormously powerful person in New York State by far. He wakes up this morning completely powerless, completely without allies or friends, and on the brink of being removed from office. It's a stunning turn for someone who was, by all measure, the most popular politician last spring, a little over a year ago, and this is where he is today.
Yeah, in some ways national, too, as some people looked at it. What happened in that meeting with lawmakers yesterday afternoon?
So look, I'm in the state Senate. The meeting yesterday you're referencing was a state assembly Democratic meeting. I did serve in the assembly for 6 years, and look, it was I think about a 3-hour-long meeting, and I'm sure it was an emotional meeting for a lot of those members. Look, there are some members of the legislature on the Democratic side, myself included, who have had a tumultuous relationship with the governor over the years, but he's had some stalwart friends, allies, very close allies in the state assembly and the legislature, and so I'm sure it was a painful meeting.
Yeah, because look what he does to his friends. The New York Post, the cover here, it's official. Cuomo is a creep. And also this from John Podhoretz of Commentary magazine. He writes, Cuomo, the Mad King, alone upon his throne. What you see in it is a man in the grips of a narcissism so all-encompassing that it helped him to believe the words he was speaking, even though he surely knew every single thing he was describing had to do with the power dominance fetish that explains every political relationship he has ever had. If the governor does not resign or he is not impeached, does the Me Too movement completely fall apart? And do you think that he has disgraced the Democratic Party, especially in the state of New York?
So look, your first question, I think, is moot. Like I said before, there is no path to him writing this out. He, back 5 months ago, and I called on him to resign 5 months ago, almost to the day, back in March. At that time, you probably remember that he was pleading with New Yorkers, please give the Attorney General time to conclude her report, to do her investigation. Please do not cast judgment until I get that due process. And now we've gotten that due process. The Attorney General came out with a voluminous report, an in-depth investigation. There's nothing left to investigate. They interviewed almost 200 people. They reviewed over 70,000 documents. The Attorney General ought to be lauded for her independence here. And so the due process is over, and there's no way he survives this. So forget about the Me Too movement and the prospects and the future of the Me Too movement. He's not able to survive this. It's over for Governor Cuomo.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.